Hi, friends. It's me, Rachel Vasquez, a grief warrior. And I wanted to talk to you about something that has probably affected all of you at one time or another. Certainly is going through my household right now. And it may not be what you think. So I was feeling as though I was experiencing some depression and overwhelm, a little bit of anxiety. And I was a little emotional, I guess over emotional, I would say. Sitting in a business meeting, I started to cry and I thought, get it together, Rachel. What are you doing? This is a Zoom meeting and people are going to look at me and see these like tears coming into my eyes. And later that day, I was out driving around with my kids. We were running some errands, and I just kept feeling like kind of sad. One of my children just kind of made a little joke, and then I laughed because it was funny. But next thing I knew, I had like tears rolling down my face, and they're thinking that they really did something to hurt my feelings. And oh gosh, mom, I'm so sorry. And I'm saying, no, you're fine. I don't know what's wrong. I'm just feeling a little off today. Later on, my children started to tell me that they were feeling the same way, just kind of a feeling of dread, um, just low. And it was kind of filling the air of our house. And I started to think, gosh, what's going on? Why are we so sad? Why are we all experiencing so much grief right now? And then it hit me. We had just been Halloween shopping. We bought some candy and we bought some lights to decorate, some spider webs to bring in the spooky feelings because Halloween's just a few days away. And then I realized what we are experiencing in this house is anticipatory grief. And if you're not familiar with what that is, I'll break it down to you. It is the anticipation of the grief that I'm going to be experiencing to the, in this case, and it varies depending on, in what capacity you're experiencing this anticipatory grief. But for me and our household, it is knowing that we are heading into the holiday season. And for us specifically, this kind of kicks off, Halloween kicks off the beginning of the end of our story with my husband and their dad. So his birthday's at the end of October, and his accident was at the end of November, and he passed away at the beginning of December. And now, every year, as we start to approach his birthday, the feelings start to come back. We are thinking about him constantly. We're missing him so much. And we're feeling sad because we're not able to see his face, hear his voice, and spend time with him the way that we had for so many years. It begins to make us feel a lot of anxiety and grief depression around this time of year. And a lot of you may experience the same thing towards this time of year because of the holidays, and you may be missing your person because it's the holiday time. But in my household, it's also a remembrance of his accident and all of the nightmare that surrounded that time of year. So it can feel a little tainted to us. The first couple of holidays, Christmas seasons, from October, from Halloween to the new year, the first couple that we experienced without my husband were really, really rough. And each year we try to do a little bit more. So this year we decided that we are going to try to give back to the community a little bit. My husband and I wanted to give back to children in need. So we used to pick the angel tree names and buy presents for children, underprivileged children. And this year I'm reaching out to a local um, program that works with foster children. And we're just doing a small toy drive from my business, Living Beyond Grief. And we are just going to go within our own community and try to collect new clothes and toys, some things like that, that we can take as a family, as a small business to the organization and present that with them as a way to honor my husband and their father. So the thing with anticipatory grief is when it sneaks up on you, it's almost a double whammy, because not only am I going to feel those extra feelings of sadness and grief, remembrance, all those things that come kind of in the same package, but it's kind of like the prequel, that dread of knowing what's coming. And so that adds like this other layer on that. It's like, I didn't need that, but yet here it is and it's showing up. So what am I going to do with it? And I tried that day. I had a little ice cream. My daughter and I watched a movie. We laughed, and because it was a dumb movie, and we tried to just kind of snuggle up and talk and things like that. But for the rest of that night, and no matter what we tried, even though we had light, happy moments, we all still felt kind of blue. And I want to say, when that happens, it's okay, because we cannot fix every single moment of our day and every single moment of our time, every single time that we're sad or depressed or feeling that the wave of grief that's washing over us. We don't always have a fix for it. We can have things that help. We can have our go-tos, whatever that looks like. I have a toolbox full of things that I use to help me manage different aspects of my life, whether it's my Reiki or if it's aromatherapy, journaling, I could go on. But sometimes the best therapy that you can give yourself is just to love yourself and allow yourself to lay down and say, I'm feeling kind of bad and I am okay with that. I'm just going to sit with it because I know what it is. And understanding where your grief is coming from, why it's happening at that moment. This is the time of year that it brings up all of the bad memories that surrounded all of our good memories. And I'm going to sit with that. And I'm going to try to remember the good ones and try to put the bad ones in its place and saying, yes, I understand. I acknowledge that you happened. And I acknowledge that you're showing up right now because of what happened. But I'm choosing to honor my husband and I'm choosing to honor my family. And so I'm going to move forward with things that support that. And that's what we're doing. So we are doing a toy drive. We're doing a clothing drive for foster children. And we are continuing our tradition of our memory jar, our little hope chest box, our treasure chest. And we're going to do our readings from there. And we are going to embrace new traditions and come up with ones that feel good for us in this moment. And I encourage you and invite you to identify when you are feeling a little low, what it is that is coming up for you, and allowing that feeling to come in and sit, and then finding an alternative to what you want to do now that you're creating a new space, you're creating your new life, you're embracing new activities and new challenges, and you can still honor your loved one without letting that grief, depression, and overwhelm rule you. So I don't know if any of you have had those experiences. I invite you to have a conversation with me or put some comments in the link. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you. Until next time. Bye.